Namaskar, welcome to Whitetail. Here we'll explore relationships have changed quietly in India. Dating exists before marriage. Marriage is delayed and questioned. Family control is no longer obsolete. And what it reveals about mindsets of Indian youth.
In recent years, the dating culture in India has undergone a metamorphosis that is stunningly subtle yet revolutionary. Historically, relationships in this vibrant nation were shaped by familial approval and societal expectations, where romantic connections often blossomed under the watchful eyes of friends and family. Emerging from these constraints, the modern Indian youth finds themselves in a reality where dating exists as a precursor to marriage, free from the heavy chains of traditional schema. This cultural shift is not a mere act of rebellion. It is a psychological awakening, a move towards recognizing personal agency in love and companionship. The previous narrative painted relationships as collective choices rather than personal ones. Every union was community observed and marriage centric, where love was often an outcome of permission rather than passion. Privacy in romantic endeavors was virtually impossible as partners adjusted to one another in a dance dictated by external expectations. While this arrangement offered societal stability, emotional safety remained an elusive promise as individual desires were often overshadowed by familial needs and cultural norms. In contrast, young individuals today dare to embrace their choices, shifting towards a landscape where love flourishes as a personal journey. With this evolving landscape, the notion of decision ownership among the youth stands as the cornerstone of change. Armed with education, increasing financial independence, and exposure to diverse lifestyles, today's Indian youth question the traditional givens. They ponder, if I can drive my career, why can't I navigate my love life? This cognitive leap from obedience-based identities to choice-oriented mindsets reshapes not only the way relationships are formed, but also how they are understood. Nowadays, dating is less about sexual exploration and more about seeking genuine emotional compatibility and mutual respect. It prompts the essential inquiry, can I share my life with this person? This change fosters a deeper emotional engagement, presenting new complexities in interpersonal dynamics. Further solidifying this cultural shift is a move from the archaic doctrine of sacrifice in relationships to a refreshing focus on balance. Previous generations espoused the idea that love required selflessness, often at the cost of personal well-being. In stark contrast, modern relationships now emphasize emotional safety, self-expression, and growth. The youth question not only the viability of their partnership, but also its impact on their individual journeys. This emerging belief system fosters connections built on mutual respect and understanding rather than mere toleration of personal sacrifices. Thus, the essence of commitment remains intact, yet it is transformed into a healthier and more balanced approach. Marriage in India is undergoing a profound transformation. Rather than declining, it is simply delaying and redefining itself, propelled by new societal dynamics. For the youth, the notion of marriage has been reshaped significantly. Influenced by career uncertainties, financial pressures, and a growing fear of emotional mismatches, many young individuals find themselves rethinking the traditional timeline for marriage. Observing the complexities and challenges of failed marriages around them, they are cautious, preferring to marry at a more mature age only when they feel ready and secure. This shift reflects a deeper psychological transition from viewing marriage as an obligation to recognizing it as a partnership, an emotional contract built on mutual respect rather than a mere social milestone. Today, marriage is no longer seen as a default, lifelong commitment, but rather as a conscious choice made with higher expectations. The rising age of marriage showcases this change, while the willingness to exit when respect disappears highlights a new, more empowered mindset. Couples are choosing to be deliberate about their relationships, fostering an environment where both individuals actively contribute to the partnership's health. The priority of the youth has shifted dramatically from societal judgment, log kya kahenge, to a focus on personal well-being. The language of mental health has permeated the fabric of relationships, emphasizing stress management, boundaries, and emotional well-being. This shift has emboldened young people to end toxic relationships more swiftly, talk openly about consent, and reject the outdated practices of emotional manipulation. While this may create discomfort for families, it points to a transition towards healthier dynamics and deeper relational understanding. However, this evolution does not come without conflict. The inevitable tension between parents and their children arises as parents fear instability while youth grapple with feelings of suffocation. Both fears hold weight, and the tension, manifesting as arguments, silence, or secret dating, is not a sign of moral decay. Rather, it highlights a significant transition between contrasting value systems. In this dynamic environment, India is witnessing an era where individual choices are gaining prominence while collective control is on the wane. In conclusion, the emerging dating culture in India is not undermining the institution of marriage but is a catalyst for its evolution. Relationships are becoming more conscious, negotiated, and emotionally demanding. This profound shift may be subtle, but it is steadfast and ingrained in the psyche of India's youth. The question lingers, does this change signify freedom or is it merely confusion?